battle with yourself on the floor. When the man with the power and the dollar says you ain't worth a cent, and your wings won't fly and your words won't flow. You can't force a smile and they won't leave you alone. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Oh, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. I know a woman with a lion's heart and a pretty blue dress with a shopping cart. Head full of dreams, gonna change the world. Got a body of work they say won't sell, and a way with words that she won't tell. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Hey, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. We don't.
Good morning, Patriot family. Thank you so much for joining Out of Pocket with Allie and Michelle. It is a wonderful morning.
Freedom Friday,
Sure.
Fantastic Friday,
Fafo?
Friday. It's more genuine there. Yes, for us anyway. How are you doing? And I have no shoes on.
I mean, that's amazing. I love that we can.
I love your studio. This is
The
amazing.
studio's fantastic. It's the best.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a wild ride of a week. I know yesterday we were talking about Trump visiting China.
China.
Today,
China.
we've got a lot on the
I
docket
gotta
today.
stop doing that.
I think hey, Talk Red, this may be the episode that gets flagged.
I don't know. You might. Who knows?
I don't
at
know.
This point.
Unless maybe, they've got some special magic there at Talk Red. But we are talking all things Frankenstein Fauci today. The cover up. Have you been listening to this over the last couple of days with Chairman Rand Paul and what he's finding out from this whistleblower? Plus Ebola. Remember that? What was that movie with the monkey?
Oh, I don't remember.
Outbreak.
Was it Outbreak?
I think it's Outbreak. Okay, and we were all like, "Oh," and their hazmat.
Brad Pitt?
Was Brad Pitt in it?
Was he in Outbreak, or is that?
There was
Zombie?
a couple of different.
I don't know,
but
I don't know.
We
too
thought
many
it
movies.
was. We thought it was Hollywood, but maybe it's in the mountains of Montana. Wait till we hear about that. That little news there. Thank you to Laura Loomer for that. Plus, Kash Patel.
I think he might be the most out of pocket. I'm not even lying. I think he's the most out of pocket for the week. You guys chime in and blow and let us know towards the end of the episode. Let us know if you think he's the out of pocket person. Of the week,
FBI director, we love
wild.
you.
He was just absolutely wild this week.
All right, so let's follow Patel's guidance and let's get out of pocket. Let's open the mic.
Two queens, no filter, say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we go there. If it's out of line, we don't care. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket.
Every time I see that clip with conservative aunt there at the end,
Leg day. Everyone hates leg day, but I love leg day
because you
leg day is my favorite day.
Listen, if you don't walk around hurting a little bit, was it even
Go girl.
was it even any good? That's not what I meant.
Take it how you want it. I'm just
Okay, there you go, Democrats. That was the freebie. But leg days, it's like rewarding because you feel it every time you hit a stair, every time you get in the car, every time you like breathe.
Yeah, no, cores too. When you work your core, it's look, we're getting back on this healthy kick because of Maha. So we've been slacking. You know, sometimes you just get in your mind, you're a little depressed, and you're like, I don't do anything. We can't do that.
No.
We gotta get up and get going. We have midterms to win.
We have midterms to win.
Midterms to win. Country to save. Let's go.
Country to save. Absolutely, Allie. Absolutely. So we were following this over the last 3 days, really. So first of all, some people are saying, Allie, that there was a May deadline for the statute of limitations to hold Anthony Fauci accountable for what happened during COVID. I want you guys to listen later in the show. I've seen some posts, I guess, from Rand Paul that basically alludes to he did some testimony in later July of that same year where he lied to, they believe he lied to Congress again.
Yes, he lied under oath, and everybody was like up in arms. They're like, we know that he literally lied under oath. So like, why has nothing been done about that?
Right. But that's like that was more like late June, July.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what Rand Paul was saying in this testimony is that the statute, we've got enough that we can push the statute of limitations back.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, so it's not just done. But here's what happened. So now they've got a whistleblower that is coming out and saying all that we said. We told you, lab leak, and they knew it. Take a listen.
Thank you for the complimentary introduction, and I appreciate the committee's dedication to transparency and accountability. I am a career CIA operations officer, and as you mentioned, I was on joint duty assignment at the Office of Director National Intelligence Directors Initiatives Group, or the DIG, between March 2025 and April 2026. I was responsible for leading the DIG's investigation into COVID origins, anomalous health incidents, and unidentified anomalous phenomena. I'm here today to discuss the COVID cover-up, the national security implications associated with the DIG's investigative findings, and CIA refusal to comply with lawful oversight, as well as how we remedy these problems. Intelligence community leaders and senior analysts downplayed the possibility that the COVID pandemic originated as a result of a lab incident. Motives are difficult to define given the scope of the DIG's review. Intentional or not, the IC's actions resulted in a cover-up, wasted resources, and a failure to properly inform policymakers. Public health policy would have been very different had the American public been made aware that a virus from a lab in China was going to serve as the foundation for an emergency use authorization mRNA products being mandated by the former administration. Dr. Fauci's role in the cover-up was intentional. Dr. Fauci influenced the analytical process and findings by leveraging his position to ensure the IC consulted with a conflicted list of curated subject matter experts, public health officials, and scientists. This included some of the authors of the paper, The Proximal Origin of SARS-CoV-2, and other public health experts who have been in his orbit for the last 20+ years.
Wow. Okay, guys, that is, let me get his name. I believe it's James Erdman III. He is the whistleblower who's now talking about the investigation that went on into the origins of COVID. Remember, they had all those leaked emails that showed that people were saying this is exactly what we were growing in Wuhan, China.
Mm-hmm.
I think it leaked. They were like, oops, let's blame it on a bat. Poor bats. They get blamed. Bats and rats get blamed for everything. Like,
I mean,
well, you know what I'm saying, though? Do they have representation on the Hill? I just think they should.
no. The Hill has enough. That's enough. That is enough.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's not fair to them to be used as a scapegoat all the time, but
it's crazy. This is just wild. I mean, it's almost vindication in a way, because we've all known, I think those of us that have been paying attention since 2020, and even those of us that have understood how the CDC, NIH, and these health organizations governed by themselves under our government have operated for largely since the 1986 Immunizations Act. was passed through Congress, this is vindication for us because
It
we've
is.
known that this is true. And I don't think we'd be here, one, if we didn't have President Trump as president.
Right.
And two,
Yeah.
if we didn't all rally around his nominees for his administration, like
Because they
Secretary Kennedy.
did not want them in.
And
Right.
because of Secretary Kennedy being in as Health and
Yes.
Human Services Secretary, he was able to pick who he wanted for CDC and who he wanted for NIH
Yes.
and a lot of these agencies because he understands
Yeah.
he's been working at this and litigating this for
Right.
years. So I'm not surprised that it's come
No.
out. I do think that a lot of other Americans are shocked by it. I mean, will we get an apology? Probably not.
Probably not. But if I walk around with a chip on my shoulder the rest of the day, you know why.
I almost wore
Because
I almost wore Public Enemy #1. I actually might do that when we come back from commercial. I will be in my Fauci shirt because this is great. Thank you. Thank you, Congress, and for the whistleblowers that are coming out and exposing this, what they've already known, and putting it in congressional record. It is in congressional record
Yep.
now.
Yep.
And it's proving that Fauci has lied under oath.
that he lied under oath, that and the emails that they've released have gone into great detail about understanding the funding arm of the Wuhan, China lab that you paid for. And so you were paying for gain of function research, and then you paid for this lab leak, and I love how he says, I can't prove intent. That's going to be a bigger case to be able to prove intent, because what happened is, all these CIA agents
you
came
can
together.
prove intent when there's billions of dollars being funneled through certain things. and
Yes. But I like that,
correspondence with threats. I mean, that's intent.
but I like that he said it's not his place to say that.
Right,
He wasn't like, he was very much in his lane. But then to have investigators in the CIA looking into the lab leak process potential and have them all come up with the same
Mm-hmm.
idea that yes, it did occur, or it's substantially possible that it could occur,
Right.
that it did occur. And then for Anthony Fauci to come in and sway their opinion, it looks like even throughout 2025 when they were still investigating it. So I want you guys to hear Senator Rand Paul. Now, he chairs the committee that this hearing was being held. He has not let go of this. And thank you so much, Senator, for that. But listen, it's a long video. We'll play a portion of it. Take a listen to Senator Rand Paul.
Senator Paul, can you give us an overview of what happened at the hearing today?
What's your top line?
The top line is that there was a scientific consensus at the CIA that the virus came out of the lab, that there was a lab leak. Anthony Fauci intervened in 2021, and at his behest, it seems like the CIA changed their conclusion. Internally, their scientists were concluding that it came from the lab. After Anthony Fauci came in, he influenced their higher-ups to overturn the idea that it came from the lab. I think that's a pretty serious, breach of protocol, and shows that there was a conflict of interest from early on.
Chairman Paul, where does this go from here? Obviously, the testimony that we heard about the extent of the cover-up within the CIA and Dr. Anthony Fauci's role in all of this, what is your next move?
We're continuing to interview people. We're continuing to look at documents. There's more news to come. We're going to have something next week that also has to do with these conflicts of interest.
Is there anything that can be done regarding Anthony Fauci, given the fact that the DOJ has now not, pursued that 5-year statute of limitations?
The 5-year statute of limitations would also apply to a July testimony, so there are a few more months on him lying to Congress. There's also the question of destroying records, destroying emails, encouraging others to destroy emails, which is against the law. There's also the question, conspiracy charges have been filed against David Morenz, who was a longtime lieutenant of Anthony Fauci. But there's always the overhanging question of the pardon. We've never had a pardon challenged before that I know of being successful, but we've also never had a pardon that was given for 10 years for unspecified crimes. So that really is, something that I think is and should be questioned. The other question is whether or not you can pardon somebody if the president really never was conscious of the person he was pardoning and it was done by an auto pen. So there are a lot of questions, and I've sent several criminal referrals, on Anthony Fauci, and I hope they will be pursued. At this time, I was going to introduce.
So my question is why, if you have a congressman woman, congressperson, Congress member. Good Lord.
Good Lord. Not Zer. We're not doing Zer. That we're not doing.
Can you imagine Congress Zer? You sound ridiculous.
I know.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous
Yes.
though. So if you have a Congress
You said it.
Zach in our ear, Mr. Tech producer said Zertarded. We might use that. I don't know. This is wild. So if you have a Congress member of the United States referring criminally, doing criminal referrals, why is that not taken seriously? Like to immediately
And he's done a ton of them. He has done it like I think 6.
But did you listen to like all of the things he was listing that were like questionable here?
The
He's like the
pardon?
auto pen, the pardon. First of all, it was a preemptive pardon, which is not a thing.
And it's
Why are we
blanket.
honoring
It's
that?
blanket for like anything.
10 years, 10 years, a pardon for 10 years. So let me get this straight. You can take your tax dollars, right? Send it overseas to facilitate an illegal program that is not sanctioned by the United States.
Amen.
Then you can lie about the situation. Then you can use the media to lie about the situation and manipulate it. And then you can coerce, people that are working in the department, people working in the office to destroy evidence, to fabricate evidence.
He probably got Hillary Clinton's people.
You can be responsible because of your withholding of information of killing hundreds of thousands of people in the world and get pardoned for 10 years.
They didn't even know what to specifically pardon him for because he's so dirty. They're like, let's just leave it. Has anybody ever like written? No, they haven't.
Gotham,
But
anyone?
it's like writing a check and leaving the amount blank because you're like, I don't know how much crap you did. Like that's like, wow. I mean, I like grace, but that is like preemptive grace.
Tony.
That doesn't work.
Tony,
Mira.
excuse me, Tony.
Tony.
Not the R&B group, guys. Tony. Anthony. Wow.
Yeah.
Just what?
And he looks like a rat. I'm just going to say, I think he
Gosh,
came.
Michelle.
Have you ever seen his face? I'm like, did he come from a lab? I don't know. He looks like
nice,
a rat.
Michelle.
That is me being nice. Listen, that is me being nice. This man is single-handedly responsible for the murder.
For sure.
Of how many of our loved ones and has continued to make money off the forcing of vaccines on you and I. Well, we didn't take it, but the MMR,
the jab.
That's the thing. That's why they call it the Fauci ouchie, because it literally, he owns this from beginning to end. I don't care what kind of auto pen they used. I think they're going to find a way. I'm hoping they'll find a way.
I hope they find a way.
So Senator Josh Hawley put it really out of pocket. I want to roll this clip. This is fun. Take a listen.
Holly, we're at the COVID cover-up hearing right now. You just said we don't have a democracy anymore. Can you elaborate on why you think that is?
This witness just testified under oath that the COVID origins report that the last administration issued was false. When it said that there's no evidence of a Wuhan lab-related activity in COVID, that was false. He just testified that when the last administration said that they were turning over all of the information that they could related to COVID, that's totally false. They gave us 5 pages. He said there are thousands and thousands and thousands of pages that were never turned over. I mean, it's unbelievable. We have basically a systematic effort to violate the laws of Congress, to lie to the American people, to mislead the American people, and it's still going on. The deep state actors, it is still going on. If you've got people who will just not follow the laws of Congress and will lie openly to the American people, I don't know how you can hope to preserve our country. I just don't know how you can do it.
I agree with him, and as much as we like joke and giggle, this is a very serious situation. 100%. And I understand that sometimes we need to like laugh and play it off a little bit, because I don't think people really understand the gravity of what took place during COVID, which is why we're all still so traumatized by it. We all still have like PTSD from it, because it was an extremely traumatizing year. And those of us who have lost loved ones, remember they locked you down in your house and told you that if you did not work at a strip club, if you did not work at a weed dispensary, if you were not a first responder or an ER nurse, you were not essential. So that means if you put food on your table to feed your family, you were not essential. You were demanded to stay in your house and even be 6 feet apart from your family members.
When your family members fell ill with a headache or a fever or, God forbid, the flu, and were then hospitalized like my father was, they ridiculed him while I was on the phone with him. That he should have double masked, triple masked. What were you doing outside of your house? It's freaking America. Like, go get some sun and, God forbid, fresh air. They made these people feel guilty while taking their last breath because they suffocated them with the overuse of ventilation, which was only part of the protocol that from the top down, not from your local doctor.
Right.
If you like your doctor, you can keep it, Obamacare. No, you can't. Obamacare set the framework in position to be able to make our healthcare system authoritarian so that you couldn't go see your local doctor who probably delivered you and your children. You couldn't go to that same family doctor. You saw doctors, Allie, on a rotation. My dad would have a doctor Monday, Tuesday, different one Wednesday, Thursday, and a different one Friday, Saturday. And we're lucky if it wasn't just a bunch of nurses on Sunday. So try to get continuity of care
and
when that happens.
And nobody was allowed to try anything different. Nobody was allowed to try anything different. And then they forced your children. And then they tried to force through coercion. So when are we going to petition the United Nations, right, to bring back the Nuremberg Code trials?
That part.
Who is going in the United States of America going to go across the world and talk to people that are world leaders and say, listen, this man right here and their gang of friends have lied to the world, have their protocols and their lack of information, their lack of transparency have killed millions of people around the world.
Yes.
When are we going to hold him accountable for that? We need to bring back the Nuremberg trials. Send me, I'll go.
Allie, this permeated into our school systems, the failure of our local school boards to really stand up for the rights of parents and children. This became the new token that you wear to show that you're liberal, crazy, left-leaning. It wasn't good enough for my mask isn't good enough for me. I got to force you to wear it. My injection isn't good enough for me. I got to force you to take it. It became the new yellow Star of David that we put on people back in Nazi Germany that we did to the Jews.
And you know what was crazy? Everyone was like, that's a stretch. It's a stretch. That's a stretch.
You know what, Allie, let me tell you, last night, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but last night I went to a friend's house who, because I'm running for school board and people are like, you're so loud, you're so crazy, you're so passionate. And I'm like, I'm not crazy. This really freaking happened to families. So I went to this girl's house because she had the lanyard.
Yes.
That had the yellow logo that says mask exemption. It was bright yellow and hung it around her son's neck. And he was ridiculed and he was made fun of. He was told by teachers, you're the reason grandparents are dying. This poor kid was like, Mom, just give me a mask. But he would break out with a rash from wearing a mask for 8 hours a day in like 90-degree weather in Florida. And she was like, don't ever forget what they did to our kids. Wow. I still have a voicemail, the last voicemail my dad left me from the ICU. He knew they weren't giving him insulin to help combat his diabetes. They weren't doing anything to truly, not because I blame people bedside. They told me themselves it wasn't coming from them, Allie. It's coming from this executive cloud in the sky. They weren't even allowed to practice medicine anymore.
I was refused care and haven't been back. Thank you.
A lot of people.
Nope, I'll take care of it myself. I'll go self-pay somewhere else.
You're right. That yellow Star of David became a yellow lanyard in our school system 80 years later.
And like the kids they were not allowed to play with other children. They were, it was absolutely wild. So we need to bring back the Nuremberg Code. We need to bring back those trials.
And this is why, because the left and the deep state have no new tricks. They have no new games.
It's all the same.
They play the same game over and over. You pay for it. They kill people with it. They divide the nation. They make money off of the remedy.
Try to win the next election.
right? Yeah, try that. So thank you, Laura Loomer. This is a story coming out of Montana. I just want to give a little bit of backstory. So this is a foreign-born virologist. His name's Vincent Munster that they're talking about. He's under investigation, Allie, by the FBI. This is taking place in the mountains of Montana. It's a little bit of a longer clip. Let's play it. Here goes Laura Loomer.
The people that get this virus generally in third world countries in Africa, they don't have access to medical care, and they rot, their bodies rot from the outside in. And they have viruses that present on the outside, as you know, big pussy orifices, and the flesh starts to rot, and then it starts to bleed, and then you start to cough up blood, and you have blood literally pouring out of every orifice of your body until you're just dead.
Yeah, and if you go to our blog about the whistleblower letter, we actually have a photo from inside the Rocky Mountain lab that we uncovered in our investigation of a monkey infected with Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, and you could see the blood coming out of their nose and mouth. So this staffer was infected. Apparently, according to the whistleblower, the other staff, and Rocky Mountain has since now admitted that this happened. So this staffer was infected with Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, this Ebola-like virus, and apparently it was kept from most of the staff at the facility. And the Rocky Mountain Laboratory in Montana apparently has a relationship with a local hospital in case anything happens. In case there's an incident like this, they can bring somebody there and they can be properly treated. But instead of doing that, which they were apparently concerned would raise alarms because people would find out about the accident, they flew somebody hours away. There's the photo right there of a monkey at the Rocky Mountain Laboratory infected with the same virus that we're talking about. So instead of bringing the person to a local hospital, apparently they flew them to somewhere hours away to avoid being detected, so the press and the public would not find out that one of the staffers at their local lab in this small Montana town was bitten by a monkey who was infected with Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever. So between a lab accident that resulted in someone getting bitten by an infected monkey, a smuggling incident by one of the NIH's top virology animal experimenters, who's now under the FBI investigation.
And Kennedy, just for clarification too, it's not that he's just under FBI investigation. Kennedy confirmed to me in writing that Vincent Munster is, he said, quote, likely going to prison. So there seems to be a deliberate criminal element to this too, not just, oh, well, I'm going to smuggle these viruses in for research purposes. Kennedy's not allowed to talk about this because it's an active FBI investigation, but he told me, I mean, he put it in writing. He told me that, and he didn't say that this was off the record when I asked him. So, I don't know if people are upset about this, but there was no conversation about this being off the record, right? It was me reaching out for comment, and everybody knows that I'm a journalist. And I said, so what's going on here? Is this real? Is this, are you?
Yeah. This is an Ebola-like virus that was smuggled into this country by this virologist, allegedly Vincent Munster, who is an anti-Trumper. He's been very vocal about that. Again, so some things that come to my mind. Wuhan Lab 2.0 only in Montana, and open borders. Like, do you think this is the only incident of somebody bringing something across the border to do harm to the American people?
Well, and I think Laura Loomer, towards the end of the clip, she does mention that. She's like, is this an act of bioterrorism? Because we know this man is anti-Trump.
Yes.
And we understand that this, could this have been a way to just kind of explode something like this to get this going? Now, the reasoning for them for doing this and taking this person, flying this person to a different area, or flying the monkey to a different area, like so that the press and the news doesn't. Well, guess what? We found out.
What did Zach say this morning? We are the news now.
We found out already. It's out. And I don't understand why. Why are there no stronger? Why is no one following the protocol?
So if you don't,
accountability is so important. This is why when things like this do happen, we have to have swift justice take place.
Because if you don't make an example out of Anthony Fauci and the Faucis of the world,
the CDC and the NIH.
They
and the
will
FDA.
they will never stop. They'll just go, oh, they'll think about your children, okay? When you don't seriously have a disciplined procedure in place, they
Repercussions
think that they can just continue to do it.
for their
This is no different. Evil only permeates with the absence of good people who are willing to stand up and do something. So, guys, this is why it's so important. Keep it locked here, because I'll tell you what, not many people are covering the whistleblowers going forward. Not many, because people are like, yeah, we knew this. I guess we were right. And then they move on. And it's like, no, let's pause here for a moment and let's reflect and let's actually make sure we get this done right. Allie's right. We need somebody strong in our judicial branch, possibly even a Supreme Court justice or somebody who's got that kind of leverage. That's how they started the Nuremberg Code trials. There is precedence.
So it was started by a justice. It wasn't like a petition or
They told him he was crazy.
some kind of act of Congress.
Nope.
That did this. It was a justice. All right. So yeah.
Are you going to nominate somebody?
Yes, I nominate Clarence Thomas. Justice Thomas. Can you please? I think everyone should send him an email.
Let's do that.
Email him or call him out. We'll figure that out.
We'll follow up and
follow
get
with that.
That's going to be our new mission, because
Aside from getting the Save America Act passed with the Senate,
Did you-
John Thune? Seriously?
and nuke the filibuster. They're going to do it. They would do it. They would totally do it. The left would, if they got into
Only
office.
you want the left to win the primaries without telling me you want the left to win the primaries.
But that's how you know they're deep state, because they're also not interested in fixing the problem, because they actually capitalize off the problem. If there's no problems, what do they run on? Interesting. Guys, we will be right back with more Out of Pocket Live. Here's a little word from Liberty Cigars. Don't go anywhere. We've got so much more after this break.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com, because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
Dude, that was the quickest. Allie, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm like, look at that. You see that? Public enemy numero uno.
So we got this shirt when we did, when Anthony Fauci.
We did Freedom Fest.
Yes, it was a Freedom Fest.
2025.
Yes,
possibly,
I
maybe.
believe it was.
In Sarasota.
In Sarasota, Florida, because he was a speaker.
He was a speaker at one of our, the left. They brought him into Sarasota.
It's some kind of health conference, which this man.
Okay.
And they were charging, like, the tickets were astronomical.
And people were buying them.
It was wild.
People were buying them.
But we had this amazing Freedom Fest where we had patients, people that were harmed by the COVID jab, veterans that were harmed by the COVID jab.
Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo was a main keynote speaker.
Yep. It was a great turnout of just people that were fed up with Fauci and what took place because of under his leadership. So this was the t-shirt we got, and we actually ran out. So
and we had the F asterisk CK Fauci, and those ran out too.
Yeah, and it was Fauci's lies led to
Fauci's lies. COVID
something.
COVID lies. I don't know. I said COVID lies. Fauci dies.
Yeah, no, COVID lies.
That's not what it said. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, well, listen. So one of the main players in this whole medical industrial complex, going to try to guide what the whole world does and then capitalize and make money off of it, is the WHO, the World Health Organization, which Trump has removed us from. But there's a little bit of a history lesson there. Are y'all familiar with eugenics?
Think about the thing that everyone says that is not true.
Well, but think about those that Margaret Sanger, the creator of Planned Parenthood, and
Did
how
you know?
eugenics was something she really.
Did you know that Darwin was also a eugenicist?
That's why, if you ever read, and I haven't, but L. Ron Hubbard and all of that type of.
Did you also know that they have links to Marx, Karl Marx?
Absolutely. That's where it comes from. Well, listen to this short history lesson. It's a longer video. We might cut it short. Take a look at this.
The World Health Organization was a criminal racketeering organization as defined by the Sherman Act and the Clayton Act. And we have to go back to the foundation of what the WHO is and recognize since 1953, it has been exclusively a vaccine promoting enterprise for the benefit of the people who have commercial interest in vaccines. If you read their opening charter and all of the hearings that gave rise to their opening charter from Bretton Woods in July of 1944 to its actually founding charter in 1950 and 53. What's missing from those conversations is who is writing the checks. And back then, you can look, and it's all in a matter of public record, Rockefeller Foundation and the Wellcome Trust were the check writers. As long as the financial interest that dictates what product is going to be promoted is the one making the declaration of the pandemic, we have no possibility for accountability. We have no possibility for justice. And what we do is we allow people who were formed out of the eugenics office, Carnegie Mellon in 1913, that same group of people that were the same group of people that established the World Health Organization in 1953, that same group of people are the ones who are making this decision. And I don't know how you feel about eugenics, but I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's take a look, Allie. The Clayton Act, or the Sherman Act, we'll go there first. It's a U.S. federal law prohibiting monopolies and anti-competitive practices that restrain interstate or foreign trade. So they're saying that the World Health Organization is actually in violation of that. Plus the Clayton Act, we're going back, let's see, it looks like the 1950s, is a U.S. law that strengthens federal antitrust policies for prohibiting specific anti-competitive practices. Sounds like what we also do in our meatpacking industry.
I know. I was just going to say that. Like, this is why they don't like monopolies.
I like the game. I don't want to play it in real life.
But this is exactly why there's outlaw of monopolies. But what is the point of a law if it's not enforced? Are we the land of law and order?
Well, as we saw there, you can just put an auto pen in practice and literally subvert the entire will of the American people. If you have laws and then you try to hold people accountable to these laws and they still are able to skirt justice, this is the two-tier justice system that we hear about all the time. It doesn't apply to you and I. You and I are going to get held accountable, but we've got to, I mean, this is why, Allie, this is why I'm seeing momentum of people who are outside the political realm, but knowledgeable of the political realm, kind of stepping up and stepping into those areas of servitude, because it's going to take regular people like you and I stepping into that fold.
And it's also two-tier when it comes to which party you're in. Because do you remember the story of this week that broke about the mayor, I believe, the Chinese spy. She was in government somewhere in California.
Yep.
And she came out and said, yes, I am a Chinese spy. And they gave her 5 years in prison. 5. Do you know that they gave George Santos, who used to sit as a sitting representative of the United States Congress, they gave him 7 years. 7 for campaign financial violations. Not spying, not espionage, not espionage, which used to be punishable by death.
Yeah.
5 years compared to 7 years because he's a Republican.
Well, if your blood isn't boiling yet,
holy goodness,
stay close because the pot's about to get a little hotter. What have we been talking about? Save America Act. And I didn't know also this was happening in California. I can't even set it up. Roll clip.
The way the voting system is structured, we see quite a few flaws. You're able to register even and cast a vote if you don't live in the country, as evident of his brother in Pakistan. And I think we have some evidence of 2 or 3 other people out of the country that voted. Is that correct?
Yeah, approximately 2 or 3 other people out of the country, as well as people residing outside of the district.
Okay. The online voter registration system, it seems to be an honor system. Anybody can put information in there to register to vote. All you have to do is click a box and say that you're not lying, and then you'll get an email from the Secretary of State or something in the mail saying, thank you for registering to vote. And there you are. Once you're on the voter rolls.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna register to vote in I'm gonna vote in California for Chris Pratt. That's Spencer Pratt.
Yeah, thank you.
Spencer Pratt.
I mean,
Not Chris. I would vote for Chris Pratt. Nice, great movies, by the way. Great movies.
Love it.
Don't really like your politics, though. Not really. I don't know. Is Chris Pratt a Republican?
Christian.
I think but that doesn't mean he's a Republican.
No, but I know he is. He's
I think
married.
he is.
He's married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Okay, so he is. Okay.
But the mom is
okay.
Anyway.
Anyway. I'm gonna vote for the Pratt guy, all the way from Florida.
all the way.
I mean, not really.
So did you hear what he said? So there are talking about
Pakistani.
Pakistanis and Iranians that have been voting in California. This is from San Joaquin County. So this is further south, but he's talking about the honor system when you go in to vote. Wait, we know that human beings are capable of building a laboratory in another country to brew a virus that kills millions of people, but we still believe in an honor system?
Lord, have mercy. An honor system?
Have you? I don't believe in the honor system anymore.
Listen, if it's an honor system to register to vote, then it should be an honor system
to register a gun.
To not even register, to just go get one.
It should be an honor system to get on public assistance. It should be an honor system to prove that you can qualify for retirement and your benefits, right? Remember the last time you sat on the phone with somebody in a government office to try to get your benefits or to try to help you in any way through a government agency? It should all just be the honor system.
It should be an honor system for veterans to get the care that they need outside of the corrupt VA.
Should be an honor system to get your tax dollars back to take your children to the school of their choice.
Because it's all public school anyway, right?
It's all tax dollars anyway.
What? Oh, girl, I feel it.
Well, pass the Save America Act, and I love it. Did you see Scott Pressler? He did a side-by-side with Thune talking about, how he just can't do it. And Pressler sitting there like, we're getting ready to just replace you. Like, it's crazy.
Yes. Don't just get ready.
Let's do it.
Don't get ready. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it and nuke the filibuster.
Let's Nike and just do it. Okay? Because I've about had it with Senator.
Rupture here.
Look, I love you, bro.
Okay, you ready? You ready to watch our FBI director go out of pocket, completely out of pocket? Have you ever had people make up lies about you, Allie, and then try to pass them off? He does so good here. Roll clip.
Multiple reports, including reporting by The Atlantic, have alleged episodes of excessive drinking, unexplained absences, and behavior that concern current and former FBI and DOJ officials. You have publicly denied those allegations and filed a defamation lawsuit. So today, as you testify before Congress, is it your testimony that those allegations are categorically false?
Unequivocally, categorically false.
So there have been no occasions during your tenure when FBI personnel were unable to promptly reach you?
Absolutely not. You can ask my entire workforce. They hear from me at every single hour of the day, as do these great gentlemen here, as do the men and women of the interagency and state and local law enforcement and the White House.
And so there have been no occasions when your security detail had difficulty waking or locating you. Is that right?
Nope. It's a total farce. I don't even know where you get this stuff, but it doesn't make it credible because you say so.
I'm not saying it, Director Patel. It's been written and documented.
You are literally saying it.
No, I'm saying that these are reports, Director Patel.
No,
and
unlike your baseless reports, the only person that was slinging margaritas in El Salvador on the taxpayer dollar with a convicted gangbanging rapist was you.
You know,
the only person that ran up a $7,000 bar tab in Washington, D.C. at the lobby bar was you.
This
so the only individual in this room that has been drinking on taxpayer dime during the day is you.
Director Patel, come on. These are serious allegations that were made.
Okay, allegations. Listen, I love the way that he handled that because, and then so what was really funny was when Benny Johnson put it out. No, it wasn't Benny Johnson. It wasn't Benny Johnson. It was the president of El Salvador. He put it up side by side with all of the photos of this representative with the gang leader, right? Like
sipping margaritas.
It was wild. I was like, oh my gosh. But listen to what they say. This is what makes it's all sensational. And
the wrap-up
words,
smear.
but it's the words that they use, and they use them intentionally on purpose. Allegations. And then they're using media. Oh, so it was reported by The Atlantic, who have no proof. You can put it in print and say that it's a report, but there's no proof. And then they bring it to Congress and put it in the congressional record as if it's evidence. But it's not evidence because it's an allegation. There's no proof.
Well, and so this is exactly what Nancy Pelosi described, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. She called it, she said it, as she tried to keep her teeth in. She said it's the wrap-up smear. You say something, you get your friends in the media to print it. Then you say, see, it was printed, so it must be true. They've been doing this forever. Unlike,
and the right does it too.
But unlike what just took place with Senator Rand Paul, where you have whistleblowers actually saying, here's the internal documents that this happened.
Right.
Trying to get the media to print that.
And they won't.
And that's how you know Project Mockingbird is still in place. And that's how you know we still don't have the Spin Act or the Smith Modernization repeal.
Yeah, the Spin Act needs to be, oh my gosh, I cannot look. I can't.
Listen, if ever one of us gets into Washington, D.C., buckle up. Buckle up.
It's a wrap, G. I'm just telling you.
All right, we're cutting it short on time, but just for fun and giggles, before we leave you on this beautiful Friday, I don't know what you got planned, but if
we got plans. That's why we're like trying to hurry up and get out of here.
But if you catch yourself,
stuff to do. I'm sorry.
I'm going with you. If you plan on catching an Uber or a Lyft and this climbs in the car with you, best of luck. Take a look.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes. Disculpe el viaje para Daisy. Se siente bien, oiga. Ya en serio se siente bien, necesita ayuda o ¿qué le dices? ¿Es usted Daisy o qué le pasa en serio?
Señor, ¿qué no está viendo que soy un perro?
Un perro.
She is barking, not talking. And he says,
so she has a whole conversation with him, and essentially he ends up kicking her out of the car
and says, we don't give rides to pets.
Like, go get yourself an Uber Pets.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Not me gonna Google it.
But I mean, you know what this looks like to me? Because she looks fairly young.
Yeah.
It looks like a child who may not have had an exciting childhood.
Like with imaginary play.
Yes. Like you didn't have someone that was able to play with you in a way that suited your child, right? Your inner child. Your child was like you as a kid. So when society says that it's okay for you to behave in this manner, you kind of let your imagination fly. Now, I'm not saying that all the time that this is what it is, but when you have childhood trauma show up as an adult, your inner child is leading your adulthood. Yeah. So that's like giving your 10-year-old keys to your Lexus or keys to your Tesla.
Yeah.
I'm not letting my 8-year-old drive my Mercedes. It's not happening.
Not happening.
Okay.
I mean,
so
that won't even let me drive it. I'm just going to put that out there so that this weekend, if she's like, here's the keys, I'm going to be like, ooh, sorry.
I was terrified to let my 18-year-old drive my Mercedes. Okay. He was like, Mom, can I drive your car to prom? Anyway, it's like your inner, like Allie at 8 is not driving Allie at 40. Well, it's not happening. But I think that to me, that's maybe just my psychological mind. Like that's just where I think that this is coming from.
But this has been okay in a lot of areas of the world in schools.
Yes.
I mean, people always are like, where's the proof? I'm telling you, because I get photos and emails from people all over the country of litter
boxes in
classrooms. Like, let that one stew for a minute. Like, okay, you want to talk about Darwin? Like,
do you remember Lindsey Graham, Patriot Barbie, who came to a school board meeting dressed as a cat? She was in a cat suit with cat ears and makeup and a tail. And they were like, ma'am. She's like, oh, you don't believe I'm a cat? Go look it up. It's still there.
It's there. It's there.
It's what like there are women that are going and they're undressing.
No, we don't.
No. She had like clothes on underneath, but she's undressing. She was like, "You understand how uncomfortable this is making you? Imagine how uncomfortable it's making my daughter, knowing that she has to undress in front of boys."
Oh,
so it's like that, but like even still, like it's delusion. And when you have people that are trying to get you out of a delusion, you have to like almost force the issue in a way that it's like, oh, well, this is shocking. So I think seeing this video is like, really? There are really people that are jumping into Ubers?
If you get into my Uber and you're barking, I'm gonna throw you a bone and get out. I cannot.
You might get maced.
You might, dude. I'll take you to the hospital, make you get a rabies shot. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Stop with the diaper play. If you're gonna do diaper play, stay off the dating apps. I'm traumatized, and I haven't found myself in the dating capacity. But when I do, I'm asking you. And then I'm going to ask you about if you bark in Ubers, because I
bark in Ubers.
we're not doing this, guys. I hope you enjoyed our show today. We don't want to leave you without a little bit of hope that we do think. Listen, as long as we don't go silent again, Allie, as long as we stay out of pocket with an open mic, I think we got an uphill battle, but I think we're up for it.
We've had some really great wins with some Trump endorsements over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And we've had some really great wins on the local level,
and the maps being redrawn
on the local level with certain sheriffs and things like that. Like for example, Sean Farash in Tennessee, there was a sheriff because they were recently swatted, right? They were one of our friends that was swatted.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, well, if the sheriff is coming and you're going to put all our stuff out there, you're going to come get us, well, we're going to replace you. And they did, boots on ground. And they did. They door knocked and they phone called and they actually got involved. So guys, it is important for you to be the sharpest tip of the spear in your circle of influence. Go out there, get involved locally, and then call your representatives, your senators actually, and tell them to get the Save America Act passed, and call your House reps and tell them to pass the Spin Act.
Tell them to nuke the filibuster.
That too. So
nuke
that
the filibuster.
Media can't lie to you anymore. Thank you guys for joining Out of Pocket.
Oh, wow.
With Allie and Michelle. We will see you guys bright and early Monday morning. All right. Catch us on the flip side. Bye.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real.